Welcome back, everybody. Mix 1041. We're on mixtv.tv, and we are joined once again by our friends Jay and Brittany Hagee with the Allon Planning Partners. Guys, how in the world are you?
We're doing good today.
Doing
Loving
great.
this colder weather.
Yeah, well, Brittany's loving the
I
colder
love it.
weather.
Brittany,
You know.
you're in the minority.
You
I'm
not
sorry.
so much, yeah.
Well, Jay and I.
I would take fall weather, 70s anytime.
Yeah, that was
when
fun,
it gets
wasn't
down
it?
to these 20s, and
Yeah.
I'm not having fun anymore.
That was good memories.
Yeah, right.
It's over.
It lasts a
It's
couple
over.
weeks.
It's over. Well, listen, I do want to talk as we're nearing the end of the year, my goodness, people are planning. It seems that we'll get to the holiday season, but people are already thinking about next year. And I want to talk with you today about questions you should be asking your financial advisor, and let's just go from here.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the best questions that I get as a financial advisor is, what questions should I be asking?
Yeah.
And so that's what you're basically saying there
exactly.
is like, well, I know about this investment or that investment, but what questions should I be asking? And I recently had a client ask me that, which, sparked this conversation with us. But one of the best questions that you want to ask your advisor, whoever's giving you advice, is, do I have a long-term financial plan? Do I have a plan that is not just consistent of that doesn't just consist of an investment, right? A vehicle, right? Because there's a lot of advisors out there that give advice and maybe have you in a bucket of mutual funds, or maybe have you in an investment vehicle like an annuity or something like that. Nothing wrong with these investment vehicles, right? But does it consist of a full overarching plan that I know it's going to reach my goals that I have, right? So does it take into consideration an income plan? Does it take into consideration a tax plan? How's it helping me save taxes from Uncle Sam? What about an estate plan? If I'm no longer here or no longer able to control my assets, how will they be controlled, right? Everything needs to be in light, and every position that we make is in light of a person's financial plan. So first and foremost, I would say ask your advisor not just what my investments are, what's my financial plan, and what's it look like? How am I actually going to get to the goals that I have? So that's where I would start.
Yeah, that's a good one. Another one, it has to do with, we have a lot of people come to us be like, so what do I do now? Because of what's happening in the market, should I make changes? Should I make adjustments?
In the economy where it's at. Right?
Yeah, because of the volatility, because of inflation, because of all of these factors. And our answer to that is, if you do so, changes should be made strategically and intentionally, and not based out of emotion or fear. Because a lot of times that's what we see. People just have these knee-jerk reactions. Oh, the market's very volatile, I just got to pull out. And then they lock in those losses.
Yeah.
And they have some, it costs them.
Costs them for a long time.
Big, long term. Instead of, okay, take a breath, let's assess, let's see if changes really are warranted or not. And really it's based on your situation, Consider things like your time horizon. How close are you to retirement? If you're closer to retirement, you may need to consider adjusting your investment strategy to something a little less risky than you would if you were 30s, 40s, 50s. So different time horizon there.
Sure, and investing is a long-term game. I think that's what we're saying. We're not day trading here, So to have a knee-jerk reaction on a volatile year and change every strategy that you have, if you have the right financial plan, which goes back to the first point, right? If you actually know that you have a plan to get you to your goals, you should have peace about even the volatility within that plan, because you know that ultimately you have the time horizon, or you have the right risk tolerance to get you to where you want to be. That's what we help with. That's the plans we construct, to make sure that it's not just a single asset or a single investment, but we look at the full picture and say, it's much broader. How can we look at this as a 10, 15, 20, 30-year investment? Because most people are living longer these days. They have to make these retirement funds last a lot longer. And so we want to make sure that we are putting a plan together that's not fear-based, where we have 1 year where the market's a little volatile and everybody's jumping out of their investments, right? You should understand in every environment how your investment strategy works for you.
We're talking with Jay and Brittany Hagee, Allon Planning Partners. I've got a couple more questions here, and I know we have more questions that we should be asking our financial advisor, but I want to stop here. Allon, so in case folks did not hear our first couple of interviews we did, what does it mean?
Yeah, Allon. Allon Planning Partners obviously is the name of our firm. Allon is the Hebrew word for oak tree. And an oak tree, as you know, is a deep-rooted symbol of stability.
Right.
And those are the types of plans that we craft for our clients. Plans that are deep-rooted, where the roots go down deep so that the tree or the plan can thrive, not just survive, in every season. So in times of drought, the roots go down deep so it can draw from the water that's there and the life can be sustained. So those are the types of plans that we
And that
craft.
Hebrew word specifically came from a psalm, which says, the tree that's planted by the water, that even in times of drought, he will produce fruit, right? And that's what we're looking to do for our clients. We're looking to put you in a position, because we don't control the markets. We don't control the volatility. We don't control the interest rates. Believe me, I wish we did.
We make our job a lot.
It would be a lot.
You control our
But what
temperature.
there you go.
Hey.
But what we do control is the positioning,
Yeah.
right? We do control the planning. And so we have a relational impact with our clients to where we know the goals that they have, so that we can put them in position by that water to where even in drought, they don't feel the stress, they don't feel the pain. And, as we're monitoring our clients that we currently work with and their investment strategies, we're asking them these questions. How do you feel right
Yeah.
now? What is this making you feel like? Do
If
you feel
you
fearful?
have a comprehensive financial plan, you should not be experiencing fear and panic right now. You just shouldn't. Because your plan should have accounted for market volatility. Your plan should have accounted for high inflation. Your plan should account for these things. And if it doesn't,
Sure.
you may need to reconsider, is what I have really even a plan?
And that's what's going to lead us to, if you have a retail advisor, I'll say, that is not asking those types of questions, that is not reaching out to you proactively and saying, hey, we've planned for this. We know that this certain amount of bucket of money is going to have some more volatility, and we've planned other ways with other buckets of money that is going to be secure and stable for these times. If you don't have that type of plan, if you just have hey, just forget about it, put your head in the sand and hope it gets better, that's not a financial plan. That is not a strategy I would want to introduce to my clients, right? So we want to make sure that everyone listening has the opportunity to reach out to us, or reach out to someone like us that's a fiduciary independent advisor that will give them not just advice based on a single investment, but a whole arching plan that gives them the peace that says, even in a drought, even in volatility, we can walk through with peace. So that's kind of what we stand for at Allon Planning.
And how can people reach out to you?
You can reach us directly by phone, 423-315-1441, or you can check out our website at allonplanning.com. That's ALLON planning.com.
I think there's a couple of more questions that maybe people should be asking their financial advisor.
Yeah, one that I really want to hit on is my portfolio diversified? Because diversification is a key term, right? And so, but it can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
You may have a portfolio made up of 25 mutual funds, and you may think, man, they've all got hundreds of stocks and bonds in there. I may be really diversified because I have a lot of investments, right? But it could not be the case if they're all correlated the same way, if they're all working in the same fashion. If you don't have asset classes that are negatively correlated to each other, you're not truly diversified. So would you ask your financial advisor, how am I diversified and how are my assets correlated? That's the word I want you to use.
Because you want to
with
make
each
sure
other.
that they're not all moving in the same direction at the same time.
Yeah.
That's the
Makes
key.
sense.
And another one, and Brittany has a statistic, I believe, for this one of a recent study, but do I have enough in my emergency savings? Do I have enough liquidity available to
yes.
me?
So a recent CNBC study that we read recently talked about how over 56% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency expense. They
Wow.
don't have savings enough to cover that. That's a huge percentage of Americans.
Right.
That is.
We should have a stable, secure, bucket to pull from, because unexpecteds will happen. I think we talked about that on some previous interviews.
Yeah.
That's one thing that will be consistent. There will be surprises. There will be unexpecteds. And a way to prepare for those is to have an account to pull from, to draw from, aside from your investment account, so that you don't have to pull out in times like this where markets are down and then you're pulling funds out, locking in those losses, and ensuring that you have a place to go to, to pull dollars when you need them.
So I do have a large list of questions you should be asking your advisor, right? And I would love to sit down one-on-one and show you, hey, do you have the answers to these questions, right? I know I can't with everyone listening. I would love to. But, ultimately start from the place of, do I have peace because I have a plan? Do I have a true comprehensive financial plan that's not just a single investment that's making me stay up at night and have
Worry.
to take Tums, because I have heartburn with the volatility that's going on? If you're feeling that way, you may want to readjust and you may not have a great plan put together.
Right.
Certainly so, and we would encourage you to call Jay and Brittany Hagee at Allon Planning Partners. Let's get the contact information out one more
You
time.
can reach us by phone at 423-315-1441 or through our website. You can contact us directly. You can even schedule your complimentary consultation there directly on our calendar from the website. It's allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com. Go to the Contact Us page. There's a link that says schedule your consultation today, and you can do that immediately.
Guys, thanks so much. Jay and Brittany Hagee, our friends with Allon Planning Partners.